These days, it's hard to know what to believe. The news is noisy. The future feels shaky. One moment, you're told to hustle harder. The next, to let go. So how do you stay centered when the world keeps spinning off balance? That's the question Taoism has been answering for 2,500 years. Not with noise, but with stillness. Not with control, but with clarity. And maybe now is the perfect time to listen. The world feels heavier lately. Inflation, trade wars, rising tension between the US and China. Economic anxiety is in the air, and so is emotional burnout. We try to stay strong, to plan better, to keep everything under control. But the more we fight the tide, the more we drown in it. What we're experiencing isn't just a financial downturn, it's a crisis of direction. People don't just feel poor, they feel lost. Not just uncertain, but disconnected from themselves, from purpose, from peace. And in the midst of all this noise, one ancient voice still whispers, you don't have to fix everything. You just need to return to what's real. That's the heart of Taoism. It doesn't offer answers, it offers awareness. It doesn't promise success, it teaches sufficiency. And in times like these, that may be the most powerful thing we can reclaim. So in this video, we'll explore 30 more Taoist teachings as quiet companions for chaotic times. Not to escape reality, but to see it more clearly, and to walk through it with calm, grounded strength. Section 1. Let go of the chaos. Let's begin where most of us are struggling. The inner turbulence that mirrors the world outside. Chaos isn't just out there, it grows when we carry too much and forget how to let go. 1. To know when you have enough is to be truly rich. This quote reframes wealth as a state of being, not a number in your bank account. In uncertain economies, we often chase more, thinking security lies in accumulation. But the Tao reminds us, real richness comes from inner sufficiency. When you stop measuring your life by external gains and start noticing what's already here, you realize you're not empty. You're just distracted from your fullness. 2. Trying to control the future is like trying to hold the wind. The world is spinning. Geopolitics, interest rates, global power shifts, and yet most of our anxiety comes not from what's happening, but from our desperate need to control it. But you can't plan your way out of unpredictability. You can only root yourself deeper in the now. The wind will keep blowing. Your peace lies in how you stand in it. 3. The more rules and regulations, the more thieves and robbers there will be. Laozi wasn't condemning law. He was exposing fear-based systems. When control becomes obsession, society fractures. We see this today. Growing distrust in governments, rising surveillance, and polarized politics. This quote isn't just political, it's personal. The more you try to micromanage every detail of life, the more peace slips away. 4. Stop thinking and end your problems. Overthinking has become a survival strategy, especially in uncertain times. We believe if we just analyze enough, we'll feel safe. But overthinking is rarely clarity. It's often a disguise for fear. Laozi suggests a radical move. Stop. Let the storm pass. Let your thoughts settle. That's when real vision returns. 5. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. We cling to identities, job titles, achievements, even pain to feel in control. But when the world shifts, those identities collapse, and so do we. This teaching is an invitation to evolve, to let go of the shell and discover what's underneath. You are not what you lost. You are who you're becoming. quietly, courageously right now. 6. Give up excessive thinking and your heart will find clarity. The heart doesn't need spreadsheets or headlines, it needs stillness. In a world of overinformation, clarity comes from subtraction, not addition. Turn off the noise, close the endless tabs, put down the phone. Truth doesn't shout, it whispers in quiet spaces, and your heart already knows the way back if you'll just listen. 7. By letting it go, it all gets done. This sounds backwards, especially in a world that equates urgency with importance. But sometimes the grip is the problem. When you release the need to control the outcome, energy flows again. Projects move, conversations shift, peace enters. Letting go isn't giving up, it's making space for life to breathe. 8. The soft overcomes the hard. In times of pressure, we're told to be tough, to grind harder. But Laozi shows a quieter truth. Softness is strength in disguise. Like water shaping stone, patience and presence break through resistance. Try being gentle when the world demands force. You might just find that softness reshapes your life. 9. He who clings to his work will create nothing that endures. In a time when people are burning out at record rates, this hits home. Hustle culture tells us our worth is in constant productivity, but Taoism values being overdoing, presence over pressure. Work with love, but don't become what you produce. You are not a machine, you are a being. Rest is sacred. 10. The highest good is like water. It nourishes all things without trying. In a world of competition and constant comparison, this quote reminds us that true greatness is quiet. Water doesn't strive, it flows, it gives, it adapts. You don't need to push to prove your value. Your presence, when gentle, honest, and kind, is already powerful. Like water, you make the most impact by simply being yourself. You've just heard 10 teachings, but maybe you only needed one. Which quote made you stop for a moment? Which one felt like it was written for right now, not 2,500 years ago? Take a breath. Let it settle. And if you feel like it, share your reflection in the comments. Your voice matters, especially in a world this noisy. Section 2. Build the inner ground. You can't stop the storm, but you can learn how to root yourself so deeply the wind no longer shakes you. This section is about that inner strength, the one no news cycle, market shift, or political drama can take away. 11. When the heart is still, the world appears clearly. So much of our confusion isn't from what's happening, but from the noise inside us. In a restless mind, even small problems feel like disasters. But when you quiet the internal chatter, you begin to see what actually matters. Clarity isn't a product of more thinking, it's born from stillness. And when the heart is still, the world begins to make sense again. 12. He who is in harmony with the Tao is like a newborn child, soft, vulnerable, yet impossible to harm. Strength isn't always about being hard. Sometimes the softest things are the most resilient. Think about a baby, untouched by ego, unburdened by fear. This quote reminds us, when you live in alignment with nature, you move through life with quiet power. Nothing can break you, because you are no longer resisting. 13. Those who know do not speak, those who speak do not know. In a world addicted to opinions, this is a call to humility. We're surrounded by noise, Hot takes, endless advice, constant commentary. But wisdom doesn't boast, it listens. Taoism teaches that the more deeply you understand something, the less you feel the need to say it. True strength is silent, and it's enough. 14. The wise do not accumulate. The more they give to others, the more they have. This turns modern economics upside down. But think about it. When you hoard love, knowledge, or kindness, it stagnates. Give freely, and suddenly you're not depleted, you're expanded. The Tao doesn't believe in scarcity. It believes in flow, and generosity is how we join that current. 15. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. This quote is a mirror, one that reflects the real battle most of us avoid. We spend years learning systems, trends, and other people, but neglect the inner terrain. Self-mastery is the work of a lifetime, but it's the kind of power no crisis can shake, because when you know yourself, you stop being at the mercy of everything else. 16. True words are not always beautiful. Beautiful words are not always true. In chaotic times, we crave comfort, and sometimes mistake it for truth. But the Tao teaches discernment. Not all pleasant things are real, and not all real things are pleasant. Don't chase the prettiest narrative. Seek what resonates in your gut, even if it's uncomfortable. That's where transformation begins. 17. Respond to anger with silence. Respond to arrogance with humility. You don't have to meet fire with fire. Every argument is an invitation to react or to rise. Taoism doesn't ask you to be passive. It asks you to be anchored. When the world shouts, speak with presence or don't speak at all. Your energy is too sacred to waste on noise. 18. The flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. Ambition is beautiful, but burnout isn't. We glorify intensity, hustle, extremes, but Taoism honors sustainability, rhythm, the long game. You don't need to explode into greatness, you just need to burn slow enough to last. 19. A good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving. This isn't just about travel, it's about life. We rush from goal to goal, fearing stillness means failure. But when you're too focused on the destination, you miss the magic of the road. Taoism invites you to walk with curiosity, not urgency. You're not lost, you're just learning to wander well. 20. Do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the water is clear? This quote doesn't talk about stopping, it talks about waiting. But not the passive kind. It's the kind of waiting that creates clarity, like a muddy river settling into stillness. When everything feels urgent, fast, and reactive, patience becomes a rebellion. You don't need more answers, you need more stillness. Let's take a breath together. Which of these quotes made you feel something deeper? Not just inspiration, but invitation? To stop chasing, to stop rushing, to root yourself in a peace the world can't offer and can't take away. Leave a comment if one of these quotes spoke to you, or keep it close, like a quiet compass for the days ahead. Section 3. Living lightly in a heavy world. When the weight of the world feels too much, Taoism doesn't say, carry more. It says, carry differently. Let's explore how to live with less tension, less grasping, and more ease, even when life is not easy. 21. The Tao never strives, yet nothing is left undone. In a culture that glorifies hustle, this feels revolutionary. We've been told that success requires constant pushing, but Laozi suggests something gentler. Let your actions flow from alignment, not anxiety. When you live in tune with your nature, things fall into place without forcing. It's not laziness, it's precision guided by presence. 22. To hold, you must first open your hand. This is a paradox worth sitting with. We often think control means grasping tighter, but Taoism flips that. Holding something well means not clutching it at all. Whether it's love, peace, or purpose, the tighter you grip, the faster it slips. True connection comes from open palms, not closed fists. 23. One who is content with little is never poor. Poverty isn't always financial. Sometimes it's emotional. We live in a world that defines wealth by accumulation, but Taoism defines it by sufficiency. If you can enjoy a simple meal, a deep breath, a quiet moment, you are already rich. This isn't about settling, it's about seeing. 24. The further one goes, the less one knows. This doesn't mean ignorance is good. It means that endless chasing leads to confusion. More opinions, more data, more plans. But are we really wiser? Taoism values simplicity over saturation. Don't be afraid to return to what's essential. Sometimes knowing less helps you live more. 25. Great acts are made up of small deeds. You don't need to save the world to make a difference. Holding the door, breathing deeply, not snapping back, these are seeds. Taoism invites us to stop waiting for perfect conditions. Impact begins in the smallest, kindest choice. The ripple you start today may reach farther than you'll ever know. 26. Let your words be few and your heart be full. Not everything needs to be said. We've been trained to over-explain, justify, impress. But words lose meaning when they're too many. Taoism values economy of speech, richness of presence. Speak when the words bring peace, otherwise let your silence carry it. 27. Let things come and go. The Tao is like a doorway, always open. We suffer when we resist endings and force beginnings. This quote reminds us, life is not a locked room, it's an open doorway. Let things pass through. You don't have to chase every opportunity or cling to every loss. Let the Tao flow and stay at peace in the threshold. 28. Act without expectation. This one's hard, especially when we put our heart into something. But expectation is often where pain begins. Taoism teaches us to give, not to get, but to grow. When you release the need for return, your actions become pure. And oddly enough, that's when life gives back most freely. 29. Be like a tree, stay rooted, bend with the wind. In a storm, it's not the tallest trees that survive. It's the ones that can sway without breaking. This quote teaches us resilience that's quiet, not rigid. Stay grounded in your values, but move with the times. That's not weakness. That's how you remain standing. 30. True peace is not needing anything to be different. This may be the most radical teaching of all. What if peace wasn't waiting on circumstances to change, but was simply waiting for you to stop resisting them? Taoism doesn't offer control. It offers freedom, the kind that begins when you accept what is. Take a moment. Which quote felt like an invitation, not just to understand, but to live a little softer, to breathe a little slower, to stop pushing for just a moment and simply be? If one of these quotes stayed with you, write it down. Let it live somewhere visible, not as advice, but as a quiet reminder of who you want to be in a heavy world. Let's be honest. The world right now is hard to hold. News cycles that never slow down, jobs that feel unstable, prices rising, hope shrinking, and underneath it all, a quiet question. How am I supposed to live in all of this? Many people don't feel lazy. They feel tired of surviving, tired of pretending they're okay when they're barely staying afloat. We weren't meant to carry this much noise, this much pressure, this much everything. And maybe that's why Taoism hits so deeply right now. Because it doesn't offer another task. It offers a way out. Not out of the world, but out of the constant war within. Out of the belief that we must always strive, always know, always win. And into something softer, quieter, truer. In the past 20 minutes, we didn't chase success. We didn't fix the world. We just slowed down. And maybe that's exactly what we needed, because the Tao isn't something you earn, it's something you return to. It's not found in striving. It's found in letting go, in remembering that peace doesn't come from outside, it begins within. This world may stay noisy. Markets will shift, leaders will argue, headlines will rise and fall, but through all of it, you still have a choice to soften, to breathe, to live from center, not chaos. And maybe that's what real wisdom looks like in times like these, not knowing more, not doing more, but being more present with less. If even one quote in this video made you breathe a little deeper or feel a little less alone in all of this, then maybe this wasn't just a video. Maybe it was a pause you needed. If you'd like to keep walking this path with us, hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell, not for the algorithm, but for yourself, because this world will keep spinning. But here, we'll keep coming back to what matters. Quietly, gently, one quote at a time. Until next time, be kind to your pace, soft with your mind, and rooted in what's real.